Welcome back to D Gemini Show, and I am D Gemini. Hi, nice to see y'all. Well, today I'm starting on my life. This is dedicated to Jamal. This is who I am. I was born, and I really don't remember that. What I'm telling you now are things that I was told. I was born to a young woman. She was young. That's all I know about her, is that she was young, and her name was Louise, or her name is Louise. She was too young to keep a baby. This was told to my parents, Alice and Vinny. They were 39 at the time. And my mom is barren. She was barren. She wasn't able to have children. So my dad said he wanted her to have a baby. So an old lady named Miss Mary told my dad that she knew where there was a baby that they could have, they could get, because the baby's mother was too young to keep the baby. So they went to the hospital, and I feel like I can see that room in Metropolitan Hospital on 99th Street in New York City. There was Miss Mary in the room, my mother and father, and my birth mother, Louise, and me. And Miss Mary took me from Louise and gave me to Alice. And I've been Alice's baby ever since. That day was June 26, 1963. That's the day I was born to my mother. However, I was actually pushed out of the canal into this planet on June 17th, 1963. So 9 days later, I was given away. And I feel like I remember that, but I do know what my actual first memory is. And my actual first memory is of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The reason I remember that day is because people were crying. And my mom was holding me, and she was shaking. She was crying so hard, she was shaking. And that kind of woke me up. I feel like that woke up my consciousness, because I remember my mom, she was a very social woman, and she went a lot of places and did a lot of things. Everywhere we went that day, people were crying. Not just normal, like crying. People were like, there was wailing and weeping. It was a very sad day. And that's the day I remember first. I believe that day would have been November 22nd, 1963. That's the day of my first memory. I was 5 months old. July, August, September, October, November. Okay. That day was so sad that I still feel the sadness from that day. However, my life, this is the story of I am. We lived in a tenement in the South Bronx, 163rd Street and Intervale Avenue. The number of the building was 850 Intervale Avenue, or 850 East 167th Street. Something like that. It could have been East 163rd or just 850 Intervale. But I just remember being on Intervale Avenue, and that was a lively place back then. A lot of people going and coming and, visiting, laughing. It felt like good times. I remember sitting on the stoop and watching people go by and laughing, all the laughing of the adults, laughing and talking back in those days. My father, his best friend, Mr. Johnny, everybody called him Duke. My mother and my grandmother, she was around a lot, even though she lived in St. Croix with my grandpa. Mom and Pop, they lived in St. Croix, but they came to New York City a lot, and we went to St. Croix a lot. We went once, maybe twice a year, always once. They came to New York once, maybe twice a year. Felt like a lot of the time though. Then we moved to the Bronx. My parents bought a house, so it was a big deal. It was a good day. I remember everyone was so happy for us, or some were jealous. I remember that too. But we left, and we moved into a beautiful house, 1036 East 215th Street. And it was there that I grew up, because until I was 5, it was fun, childish. Outside of the memory of JFK, I believe Martin Luther King was assassinated. Malcolm X was also assassinated before we moved to the Bronx. But those assassinations, I don't have much memory of them, is the point I'm making. But I do remember the day that John F. Kennedy was publicly assassinated. It was the first public assassination that has been recorded. There have been assassinations, but that one was in broad daylight. It was televised. It was a statement. Who was the statement toward us, the American people, us, the people of the world? Because everybody in the world was watching, not just America, from what I'm told. It was some type of inauguration or something. I don't recall, but I just recall the emotion of the day. I recall the feeling. Just like I recall the feeling of the day we moved to the Bronx. It was fine. You know, you just slept in the night. But that morning, everything changed. My whole world changed. I got what people call friends. My parents made me move. They made me go outside. They just actually, it wasn't like go outside and be with everybody. It was go outside and, find new fam. And that's what I did. I found Tyran, Shadra, Brenda, Butchie, Rodney, Jackie, Benita, Ronald and Donald, Papo, Breon, Stevie. Yeah, I found a whole new family, and they jumped me in. I had to fight. I was 5, and they made me fight. I went in the house. I told my mother, "Mommy, they want to fight. These kids want to fight me." I was 5. Some of them was 9. Some of them was 11. Some of them was 5. Some of them was 6. Some of them might have been 4. We was all different ages. Might have been 12-year-olds out there. My mama told me, "Girl, you better get out there and fight." That's what I did. I started fighting. I got good at it. It didn't bother me. I was happy for maybe a couple of months, a couple of days maybe. And then Butchie and Jackie's mom, her name was Almeda, she said, "Come here, child." I remember still being a little thing, probably was 5 at the time still. She said, "Come here." She said, who is you?" And I said, "Niecy." And she said, "What kind of name is that?" I said, "Denise." And she said, "Who you belong to?" And I said, "Alice and Vinny. Those are my parents." And she said, "No, they not." She said, "Girl, you ain't got no parents. You don't belong to anybody. Go ask them." And I said, "Huh?" And I started to feel uncomfortable. I ran across the street, because she lived right across the street. I asked my mother and father, I think they was both there, maybe just mommy was there. I said, "Miss Almeda told me I don't have no parents, I don't belong to nobody. What is she talking about?" They said, "Oh, we've been meaning to tell you, you special. You special. We chose you." And I said, "Huh?" And And they went on to tell me the story that I just told y'all about Miss Mary and my mom, Louise, the young girl, and how they got me when I was 9 days old. And I was confused, but I think I was angry because I don't know why. I guess I felt like I couldn't trust them. I guess I felt like Miss Almeida was right, like I didn't have anybody. like I didn't belong to anybody. Oh, wow. Well, I'd already learned how to fight. It didn't take me long. I guess I was natural. And that's what I did. I went ahead and just, every day, we just fought. I became what they call a bad girl. I guess I was the original bad girl, yeah? 1968, 60, yeah, the monkey. Yeah, I became bad. 69, bad. Bad as far as just fighting, because I had to fight. So I just felt like that was a way of life. So what I did is I was challenging everyone to fight. You want to fight? Come on. I was like, what if I do this? You'll fight? So me and my friends, we fought. I started school also in the 5th grade. Went to private school, Scrolls School, Rochambeau Avenue in the Bronx. Rochambeau Avenue, uptown, further uptown than we were living, you know, because I came from the South Bronx to the Northeast Bronx, and I went to school in the Upper East, like way up, you know, like almost New Rochelle, very, very, very high up there. Miss Ann Scroll was the principal. I don't recall my 1st grade teacher, but I do recall my 2nd grade teacher. I don't remember my 1st grade teacher at all, her name or anything. 1st grade was a blur to me because first thing they put me in, when I say they, I guess I'm talking about the people at school, put me in kindergarten because I was 5, but I knew how to read and write. My parents, my mom, she was really good at teaching me stuff. So she taught me to read and write. I'm not sure when, but she did. Somebody did. I don't remember, but I just know by the time I went to school, I could read and write. So they pushed me up to the 1st grade. So everyone in my class was actually 6 when I was 5. And that's the way my life has been throughout. Everyone has always been older than me that I've interacted with a little bit or a little bit more. So far, those are the details of who I am. I started smoking in the 2nd grade. Maybe that's why I remember the 2nd grade and I don't remember the 1st grade at all. Possibly it was boring to me. But the 2nd grade, ooh, went to the bathroom at Scrolls School, Millicent Davis. Millicent, okay, cancer. She was like everybody's mama, even though we were all in the same class. She told everybody what to do and how to do it. She was like, okay, I got you. She said, girl, you're not a... She was in the bathroom smoking. And she asked me if I knew how to smoke. And I said yes, because I knew how to do everything else, I thought. And I said, yes, I know how to smoke. And she said, no, you don't care. She gave me a cigarette. And I puffed, but I didn't inhale. I just let the smoke out. And then she said, I bet you can't inhale. So I puffed again, and I inhaled. And then I didn't cough or anything. I blew it out. And there was a couple people in the bathroom. It might have been 4 or 5 little girls in the bathroom. They were like, wow, look at Denise. She can smoke without coughing. We've been in here. And that was the beginning of my, I guess, love affair with smoking in general, because that was me smoking cigarettes, 7 years old, and I continued to smoke 8, 9, 10, 11. By the time I was 12, my dad said to me, oh, we need to have a talk. There's a thing called cigarettes, and I don't want you to start smoking. I'd already been smoking. In fact, if I thought about quitting at that time, I was hooked.